The regulator has also made it illegal for companies to exchange information about their customers' credit history. South Korean newspapers are railing against the card companies, financial institutions, and regulators. The Korea Herald called it a disastrous data breach and is demanding severe punishment for the card companies. The Junong Daily condemns the card companies and regulators for a shameful dereliction of duty. The newspaper wants a revolutionary change in the companies' and regulators' mindsets to prevent a repeat. Social media users are dumbfounded. Here's our contributor, Ewan Lee.
It wasn't just how many people were affected. It was the wide scope of data stolen which truly appalled Koreans. This net user said, after checking whether my personal info was stolen, I found out that my name, email address, cell phone number, work phone number, home number, social security number, work address, home address, info about my workplace, residential status, credit history, bank account, due date, the credit limit, the credit records have been breached. I can't figure out what kind of info is out there which has not been stolen. Some make jokes about their misfortune, like this sarcastic tweet aimed at the identity thief. My financial information has almost become public goods, so if you earn foreign currency by selling them to someone in China, then you should at least share some of the profits with me. Forget compensation. Just give me 2% of royalties for each voice phishing success. Some social media users complained their IDs were stolen even though they had stopped doing business with the card companies years ago. 10 years ago, I stopped using Dongyuk credit card, but somehow my info was stolen from that card. I don't understand the reason why these firms keep customer information who are no longer involved with them. There should be a strict law that forces them to discard previous users' personal information. The penalties and reforms introduced by regulators didn't please many net users. This tweet wrote, I knew it. This would make credit card payment even more complicated. Is there any real fundamental measure that would cure the problem, such as forcing financial firms to invest a certain percent of their profit in enhancing their security? This user wrote, whenever information theft or smishing happen, they almost always suggest imposing one additional step in the identification process. However, this means that users have to provide one more additional piece of personal information. In the past 3 years, there have been several large-scale data thefts. Few believe they will not happen again. I'm Yoon Lee for LinkAsia.
The South Korean cyber breach follows the revelations that a number of American retailers, notably Target stores, also were hacked around the Christmas holidays. The company had no clue that its security had been cracked. To explain how criminals can break into data banks and whether anything could be done to prevent cybercrime, we have Jeffrey Carr with us again. He's a cybersecurity expert and the CEO of Taya Global. Welcome back to LinkAsia.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure to be here again.
Now, the South Korean case is different from the U.S. case. Target was hit by a criminal gang operating, it is said, in Russia or Eastern Europe. The South Korean case is homegrown and seems to involve just one individual. But is the root cause the same? That is, businesses not willing to spend the money on security to keep customers' data safe?
Yeah, it appears so. Well, of course, often this is the case. So with Target, they had an earlier breach in 2005. They were advised to spend a little more money on their security. They chose not to because it would hurt business, they believed. And then you have this, massive problem. In the South Korean case, apparently they did not even do basics like encrypt their data. So again, it's almost always comes down to saving money with companies until they are burned. Another significant difference to me is that at least in the Korean case, the CEOs of the companies involved and other top executives have immediately assumed responsibility and are making gestures of resignation or apology. You almost never see this in a U.S. case.
All right, Jeffrey Carr is a cybersecurity expert based in Washington State. You can learn more about him on our experts page.
Now on U.S. airwaves, a global channel of uncompromising stories. World news, documentaries, entertainment, and culture. Link TV, connecting you to the world. For more information, visit linktv.org.